Well, what's going on? My name is Simon, and in this video, I'll walk you through step by step how to transfer money using Wise. Now, I've made a video about Wise about 2.5 years ago. Back then, it was called TransferWise. And in that video, I explained exactly how Wise works exactly and how they're able to charge much less in conversion fees and transaction fees than your traditional bank. So if you're interested in learning more about how Wise works, I'll leave that particular video up in the cards and also down below in the video description. Now, in the video you're watching right now, I'm going to simply walk you through how to sign up for Wise and how to carry out an international money transfer with the lowest fees possible. Now, to sign up for Wise for the first time, you're going to need some kind of ID document because you're going to go through identity verification. So make sure you have your driver's license, your passport, or your ID card ready when you go through this process. Then I also recommend to use the first link down below in the video description to sign up for Wise if this is the first time using this platform. This is my personal referral link, and by using that link, you'll get a free transfer up to a certain amount. So if you want to save a bit of money, definitely make sure to use that link. So that referral link down below in the description will take you to a page that looks something like this, where you can see that you'll get a fee-free transfer of up to 600 Swiss francs when you use this sign-up page. Now, the reason it says Swiss francs is because I live in Switzerland, but don't worry, this free transfer will also apply to any other currency that you want to transfer. So first, we have to create our Wise account. So let's just type in your email address right here and click on Claim Your Fee-Free Transfer. Then here we can choose between a personal account and a business account. So if you're going to use Wise for your business, then choose business account, and otherwise choose personal account. Here, simply choose the country where you live. For me, Switzerland is correct, so I just click on continue. Then we have to verify our phone number. So simply type it in here and click on send verification code. Once you have the code, simply paste it in here and click on submit. And now we're going to have to choose a password for our new Wise account. So let's type it in here and click on continue. Great. So that has now created our new Wise account where we can see 3 options. Now, for now, let's not click any of these options. Let's first go to our Wise account dashboard by clicking on the decide later link down here. So this is what you're going to see every time you log in to your Wise account. This is basically the Wise dashboard where you can see an overview of your accounts. So you can open different currency accounts, which are very useful if you want to spend abroad with different currencies, so you don't have the very high conversion fees that you're used to with your regular bank. You can also order the card by clicking on cards here, and then you can basically use the Wise credit card or debit card, which also you can save a lot of fees with because it's going to simply use your Wise account to convert the different currencies. However, this tutorial is about how to transfer money abroad, and the way you do that is by clicking on the send money button here on the top left. And now here we can enter all the details for our money transfer. The first thing we want to decide is what currency we want to send in and what currency the recipient should get the money in. So if you want to send the money, let's say in euros, and the recipient should get the money in euros, then you want to click on same currency and choose the currency here. However, most people watching this video probably want to save some money on conversion fees. So you probably want to go with the international option and choose a different currency to receive compared to what you are sending. So as an example, let's just send 1,000 euros and let's just have the recipient get the money in British pounds. So the next thing we want to decide is what kind of transfer we want to use. So when we click on this arrow here, we have 3 different options: the fast transfer, the low cost transfer, and the easy transfer. So the fast transfer, you're going to be able to pay with a debit or credit card, which makes everything a lot quicker. However, you're going to have to pay more in fees. Then we have the low cost transfer, which means you're going to have to manually send the money from your bank account in euros to the bank account of Wise, which is also in euros. And then they're going to send the money from their British pounds account to the recipient account that you can enter in British pounds. So this is going to be cheaper because there are no credit or debit card fees. Then you have the easy transfer, which means you're going to be sending from your bank with an online payment. So this apparently also has a bit of a higher fee. So personally, I usually recommend the low cost transfer, especially if you're not in a hurry, because that will save you some fees. Now, when we change around the currencies here, you can also see that sometimes it will you're going to have different options here. So for example, here we can see the advanced transfer, which means you're going to have to choose when you have a bank account which is in British pounds, but the bank account is not in the United Kingdom. Then you're going to have to choose the advanced transfer. However, if you can, simply use the low cost transfer, which is the cheapest option. So let's go back to the currencies that I wanted to use here, euros in British pounds. Then here on the next line, we can see that there is a discount applied. If you can see that, then you've probably used my referral link, because this is the free transfer up to a certain amount. Then this discount will be deducted from the transfer fee. And so this will be the fee that you're going to have to pay, €3 and 41 cents. Then this fee is going to be deducted from the 1,000 euros that you'll be sending. So the amount that will be sent eventually is going to be the 969 euros and 59 cents. And you can see the conversion rate here, which obviously is changing day by day. You can also click on the conversion rate, and then you can see how the conversion rate developed over the last couple of months. So you can see here how long this rate will be guaranteed. This also depends on the currency you choose. Sometimes it's kind of like long, like 53 hours. Other times it's just 2 hours. So just keep that in mind. And then once everything looks good, we can click on continue. Then again, we have to choose between personal and business. So if this is a business transaction, choose business. Otherwise, you can choose personal. Then we're going to have to enter our personal details. The reason they ask for your details is because Wise is a regulated financial company. And to be able to handle your money transfers, they do have to ask for your personal details and verify your identity. So simply type in your details here and then click on continue. Then we have to choose who we are sending money to. So in my example case here, let's say I'm sending money to somebody else. So I'm going to choose someone else. And then here we have to enter the details of the bank account that should receive the money. So first, let's type in the email of the recipient so that the recipient will also get informed of the money transfer. And then you can either, if you don't know their bank details, you can untick this option, and then they will send an email to them and ask them to enter their bank details. Otherwise, if you know the bank details, simply tick this box again, and then you can find some different options right here. So depending on the currency that you've chosen, you're going to find different options here. Now for British pounds, we can either send it to a local bank account in the UK, or if you don't have one, then we can use an IBAN number for international bank account. Personally, I don't have a local bank account, so I'm going to use the IBAN option and enter this number here. So let's say the name of the recipient is something random, Sam Smith. And then let's paste in the IBAN number and click on confirm. And then we also have to verify our identity. Again, this is something that Wise has to do because they are a regulated financial company. So the easiest way is to simply click on get link by email or scan a QR code. When you click on the link that you get by email, you'll see instructions to scan in your ID document and also your face so they can verify that it's actually you. And when you click on scan QR code, you can just scan in this QR code with your camera, and then you'll get directly redirected to the process where you can start the verification process. Once the verification is completed, you also need to choose a reason for the transfer. You can simply choose other here and then click on submit. Now, before we confirm this transfer, we can take another look at the summary here to make sure everything is correct, and then click on confirm and continue. Then again, here we can see the different ways on how we can transfer the money. So the different low cost transfer options, the fast transfer options, and the easy transfer options. Now, these options vary depending on what kind of currencies you're sending and what currencies should be received. And by default, we have set it to manually transfer the money from your bank, which is the cheapest option in my case. And then you also want to check here where it says should arrive, and then you can see the day here. Currently, it's Wednesday here, and it should arrive by Friday. So this should take 2 days. Sometimes it's even in the same day. So again, this really depends on what you enter in the details for your transfer. What you can do if you're really in a hurry is click on debit or credit card and see if this day changes, and if you're okay with paying a higher amount, so with the higher fees here. For me, it doesn't really change. So even if I was in a hurry, I would still choose the manual bank transfer. Once you've chosen your payment method, click on continue to payment. And then here we can see a disclaimer that Wise won't be able to take money from your bank automatically, meaning you're going to have to manually transfer the money over from your bank account so that Wise can actually wire the money to the bank account that you have entered as the recipient account. So let's click on I understand. Then I'm going to leave this checked. Yes, I'm the account holder, and click on continue. Then choose how you want to make your bank transfer, online banking, telephone banking, or bank branch. I'm going to simply choose online banking and click on continue to our bank details. Now we are at the last step, which is the most important one, because here we can now see the bank details of the Wise account where we need to send the money to initiate our money transfer. Because we have chosen to send the money in euros, they have sent us, or they give us their euro bank account here. We can see the IBAN number where we need to send the money to. And then once they receive the money, they will be sending it in the currency that we have chosen to the recipient's bank account. So make sure you enter the reference reference number that you can see here when you initiate the transfer to this bank account and enter all of the details you see here. Again, the details that you can see depends on the currencies that you have chosen. Here you can also see when they need to receive the money so that the rate that you have been given for converting the currencies is actually guaranteed. So once you have noted this down or have taken a screenshot, let's click on either I've made my bank transfer if you've already made your bank transfer. You can also click on I'll transfer my money later if you want to do it later, or cancel this transfer if you decided not to carry out this transfer. Let's say I've made my bank transfer. And this will take us back to our Wise dashboard where under transactions, we should be able to see the money transfer we have just started. Then when you click on that money transfer, you can see all the details. So you can see exactly when we've set up this transfer and that the money is currently on its way to Wise because we have said that we've already paid the money. Then when the money should be received in the Wise bank account and when Wise is intending to pay out the British pounds that we have chosen to the recipient bank account, and then when the money should arrive in the final bank account of our money transfer. If you want to cancel the money transfer, you can just click on cancel here, or you can also share with this information with the recipient by clicking here and then either copy a link or share this via email. And that's it for this video. Leave a like if you found it useful. Thanks for watching.